Waalaikumsalam, Belki Bachi.
So this is how we begin our day, and I'm totally blessed to have a mother like mine. And let's go over my mother's.
Thank you for the compliment.
And let's go over my mother's life, and what a beautiful life, what a beautiful person she is at the age of 86. I think she is a great shining beacon of light for us.
Hi. What a nut you are.
So, Mommy, at the age of 5, you went to Dow Hill boarding school for girls in India, which was one of the best schools of India of the times.
Yeah.
So, how could you be so brave to go?
I wasn't brave. I had no
Choice.
I had to just go.
Huh.
And I used to make it a point of crying every day.
Really?
I was too small.
Yes. So you had your puppy over there, your father's sister,
puppy.
your Aunt Peggy.
Yes.
She was part of the administration in the school, and she used to meet you over there, and you were a lot of children over there. So you used to reach there in the railway station. You went by train
We
to the
used to
school?
go from Sialda,
Okay.
which is in India, to Siliguri, which is in India again.
Right.
And there we used to change into another train.
Okay. So you spent got to the school by train,
Yeah.
and then your parents used to leave you there in the school.
No. They left me in the train.
Don't tell me.
Yes.
At 5.
Of course.
So we were talking about your time in the school. So what are your happiest memories in school?
Oh, I had many. Many of them.
But I want to highlight the fact that you weren't very much interested in your studies.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't at all interested. I was just grazing through, that's all. But sports and all that, I was good.
So what, you played hockey?
I played hockey, I played basketball. These were the two main things.
Really? So I think after 12, from which age to which age were you in the school? From 5 years till?
16, 17, I think.
17 years, right. So from class 1 or grade 1 till 10th or senior Cambridge, but you did your senior Cambridge in Calcutta?
I didn't do it. Because I didn't want to do it.
Oh, but didn't you study till senior Cambridge?
I did study, yes.
Yeah.
I did, but I told my parents that if you want me to do this, okay, I'll study. If you don't want, if you will agree with me, then I'll
let it be. So you didn't do it then?
No.
Okay. And what did you tell your history teacher?
I told her I don't like history. She said, you are quite an intelligent girl, but why don't you like history? I said, because you don't learn anything from it. What do you learn from history? Tell me this. It keeps on repeating itself and you don't come to any conclusion. So what is the use?
Right.
I'm telling my history teacher this. Miss Rai, she was a very nice person. खुद तो ये बहुत ही अच्छी थी.
अच्छा. What was her name?
Miss Rai.
Miss Roy.
Rai. R-A-I.
R-A-I. Okay. So so you were there, and there was a Parsi girl. Her name was Shireen.
Yes, met her. She, her mother was French. Her father was a Parsi.
I see. So that's why you like the name.
I like the name, yes.
Right. Okay. So you played hockey and you didn't pay much attention to your studies, but you were also saying that you were regretting that you didn't do so later on.
Yes, you do regret it. You live to regret it because when your parents do so much for you, I think that's the least you can do for them. Is to just carry on with your...
So this is the important thing that we can take away from Mummy's life, that when your parents are, making such sacrifices to give you a good education, and they are giving you the best that they can afford, and then it's up to you as a student to make the best of it. The least you can do is to study hard and, give good grades.
Oh, yes.
And since Mom didn't give so many good grades, she used to manage to pass. And so she regrets it. And so that's one takeaway from this session. And so then you went to back to your parents. And that's why you had an aversion to putting one's child in a boarding school.
Yes, I would not have done that. I would have put you into it.
Okay, so now we come to the interesting part which everybody is interested about. And that is...
It should not be.
Why? How you met
It's not their own business.
handsome young man who was a captain in the army, Pakistan Army.
Yes.
And he was posted to Saidpur, East Pakistan. And there he happened to invite
Everybody,
the persons who were staying over there in the railways.
all the officers.
All the officers. So my father and his unit must have invited them.
Unit wasn't there.
Okay, my father was always a very gregarious person, and he always used to like to entertain people. So he invited my mother's family and the rest of the railway officers to the officers' mess.
No,
on an Eid function.
It was Eid.
Okay, for Eid function. So where was this, Mummy?
This was where they were living.
Okay.
I don't know where that was.
So you both met? Did you talk to each other?
No.
Okay.
No.
So you just saw each other?
Yeah.
All right. So after meeting, then what happened? How did you all interact with each other? How did you communicate?
He discovered a friend of ours.
Okay.
And
Vakaan?
no.
Huh.
He was a gentleman by the name of Mickey, Mr. Mickey.
Okay.
So he asked him if he knows us and that he wanted to come over and visit us.
Really?
Along with somebody else. So they came. That was it.
Okay, so I can see that he was quite smitten by a beautiful young girl who came there.
No, smitten.
So you were 22 years old? 22, right? 21, 22. And so...
I was younger.
Younger? 20?
I was about 18.
Really? So you were 18, 19 years old?
Yeah.
And Daddy saw you, and then he found a mutual friend and they visited you.
Yes.
And they would keep happening to dropping in at your place at one pretext or another.
Yeah.
So within 2 weeks, the two knew that this is the one. Yes? So now, how did your parents feel about it, and how did you feel about it?
They were not like that. My parents were very open-minded. And my mother was a bit, skeptical. She was the one who said कि मुझे लगता है कि कोई बात है.
अच्छा.
The way he keeps looking at her all the time, he was looking, so Mummy was a bit. Well, then it goes on like that.
Right. So, what did you like about Daddy?
His boots.
Yeah, his shiny boots. Mom will always insist that she liked his shiny boots. He was a very well-dressed and dashing young man.
Always.
So.
And his curly hair.
And his curly hair. And how did you know that he was the one for you?
You never know. But it just happened.
You never know. Okay. So, what are the biggest challenges you faced due to the cultural change after marriage?
Well, I don't know, because Daddy always protected me like anything. See, whatever happened, he would always protect me. It was not a question of him, sort of being awful with me. No. He was not like
He
that.
took care of you.
Yeah,
And
great care.
protected you. And nobody could.
No one.
And I remember once I asked Daddy, how did you convince people about you? And he said, if people had any apprehensions, my father said, I would say to them, you have got these things because you haven't met her. Once you meet her, then you will know.
That's what he said, because it's Chachajan. Chachajan was one, Chachajan.
Acha.
And I
The
think
unit officers.
Karyo Tota, the colonel in particular, which I disliked
Jilani?
him. And he was Kurseong,
Acha.
Colonel Kurseong. They were very much against it. So he said, I wanted a written letter from your parents to say it's okay.
Oh, I see. Okay. Another thing was that you had particularly said that you had said to Daddy that I will only marry you if your parents agree
Yes.
to it. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so during your engagement time, letters used to be written by his sisters to you.
Yes.
You know? So that was it. So anyhow, so after the marriage, what helped you cope with all the cultural shocks after marriage?
I didn't have any really because Daddy was there to take the shocks.
That's interesting.
I never
Okay.
really, yeah.
Really? So you feel, though everybody was all in those black burqas. Everyone used to
yes.
wear. There was a lot of strict parda.
My sisters-in-laws were all like that.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yes.
Even my mother-in-law,
Yes.
Maji, was also.
You used to wear, and then you change your dress. You would wear shalwar kameez, dupatta.
Afterwards, yes.
Yes. So, what do you miss the most in your earlier life? Or which phase of life do you miss the most?
Well, being with my parents. They were very dear to me. That's difficult.
Yeah. And when you got married and your mother, when she was seeing you off, what did she say to you?
She said, I don't think I'll ever see you again. This is what she said. And I was very upset, naturally.
Yeah. And that's exactly how it happened?
It happened, yes.
And you're wearing her ring right now.
Yeah,
Yes.
I am.
So then I was born a year later.
Yes.
And then life became all beautiful.
That's what you think. With the squalling brat around. I doubt it.
Was I a very bad kid?
No, not really. You were quite good, but I won't say 100%. That, no.
Tell me about my friendliness.
Too much friendly. Too much friendly. You were too friendly, yes.
Okay. So now coming to our audience who wants to know what tips to stay content in life.
Janu, I think it's up to you. Everybody has spare time.
Right.
So how you utilize that time, that's important. That's what I feel anyway.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, when Daddy was a POW, I used to do my knitting and embroidery and all that. That kept me going. Because when I didn't, I used to get all upset and, be nasty around the place. So I thought it was better not to do that. So that's what it was. But I think that's very important.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
It's up to you. Right. I know you faced a lot of hardships also. Like I remember in 1965 when Daddy was in the front, in Monabao. They captured the Monabao
Yes.
railway station. My father was in the run of cut. So you and had the other officers' wives
They were all with me.
all used to be with you.
Yes.
And days and nights they used to sleep in our house.
Yes.
And I remember you used to sleep with a pistol under your pillow.
Yes, I did.
Every night you used to, not a pistol, it was a revolver. And you would load it at night.
Yes.
And you could fill up the bullets in the revolver.
I knew what to do, yes.
Yes. And I was also taught how to use a revolver and a pistol, how to load it, how to unload it. And you felt comfortable
Oh, yes.
in that way. So there were just the ladies and the helpers, you know, the batmen. And I used to go to the Hyderabad school.
Yes.
We used to be in
Yes.
Hyderabad, and that's how the life was. So anyhow, basically, how did you enjoy the army life?
Well, it was all right, but I kept aloof from it. I didn't, sort of go into it really much.
You didn't mix up, you didn't go to the ladies club meetings?
Never went to the ladies club.
Yeah. Yet you were very friendly with the wives of the unit officers.
That was different now.
Yes.
The unit officers, they were okay, but even they had them, I was reserved with them.
Yes, you were reserved. So, tips to slow down life's pace and enjoy the little things in life.
That's important. You have to do that if you want to, I feel, remain, in touch with life altogether.
Right.
You can't give in to it.
This is a very interesting question now, because these questions have been put together by Nadia Najib, your middle granddaughter. And she says you had to change a lot about yourself after getting married. So what change was the easiest and what was the hardest?
Actually, as far as the easy part is that everybody cooperates with you. But the worst part is when you find people a bit, against you and that sort of thing.
So how did you learn Urdu?
Well, my Urdu is pretty rotten, but I did manage to...
You learned it yourself?
Yes.
Right?
From what I heard with others, everyone used to laugh at my Urdu at the beginning. And I told them, I said, Tika, I'll talk to you in English. And then you can answer me.
Right.
As you wish. Because they were pretty nasty, those people. I mean, they were supposed to be friends of mine, but...
Sometimes they would be laughing at your accent or whatever.
Accent, you can manage, but, laughing at what you say, that's difficult.
Right. But still you managed. So that was the difficult part. And the easy part was that people were accommodating and helpful also. And you had teacher Aksha, who was your first friend.
Yes, she was my very lovely friend.
And she was, she only knew Pashto and you only knew English.
No, she knew Urdu also.
Okay. And so how did you both communicate in Urdu?
I don't know, but we used to manage. Because I used to speak English, she used to speak Urdu, and we managed fine. She was a lovely person. Oh, how I miss her.
So what qualities do you most admire in a person?
I don't know, Shiri, because I don't mix up with people very much, you see.
Yeah, so what qualities make a person most attractive to you?
Nothing really.
Yeah, you don't get impressed by people easily.
No, I don't.
So Nadia has put up a very sensitive question. Which granddaughter or daughter do you love the most?
I'm going to slap her. I'm going to give her a good...
Mummy! My sweet little baby daughter.
I know she's a lovely daughter, but I'm not going to take it. Because I love all my granddaughters.
Yes.
Of course, I have my favorites, but I don't like to tell. You're not supposed to share that with anybody. That's a secret.
Really? Okay, so she says, what in your opinion is the most important thing in a marriage? The most one thing which is the most important.
I think, Shani, it's a question of trying understanding. Getting along together, you know.
Right.
What do you say, cooperating or what?
Cooperating, support, understand. Understanding is a very wide sort of a thing.
It is.
You know, sometimes you understand and sometimes you don't.
No, I think that's not right.
So you think understanding is the most important thing?
Understanding and also, you know, your ability to get around. Adjustment.
Would you call it adjustment, compromise?
It's not a compromise. No, it's not.
It's adjustment willingly.
Yeah.
Okay. What should today's wives do more and less of?
They should be more accommodating now. And, you know, think about things before they dash off into be divorcing and ekhola and all that sort of stuff. So that's not right. I don't believe in that.
So they should have more tolerance?
Definitely.
So, and what should they do less of? Of course, you are saying they shouldn't reach to conclusions very quickly.
No.
But what things should they do less so that their marriage becomes better? Is there some suggestion?
No, I think it depends on the couple. Living together, you know, you get to know each other, so you have to be able to understand one another.
Right. I think one needs to know the wisdom to know when to talk and when to keep quiet.
Well, I don't know. Some people do a lot of talking and end up with a divorce, but you know, there's a friend of ours. They were a very nice couple, and the children were very nice. They had 2 children.
Right.
Very nice children. But suddenly the husband gets wonky. Men do. He married somebody, you know. You know who?
Who?
These were Rahim.
Yeah. Okay.
You remember them?
No, I don't. I think I was very small then.
No,
I was about 6 years old.
No, you were 8, I think.
Was this in Hyderabad?
No, in PMA.
Yeah, so I was 7.
7, 8.
Yeah, I remember. So the man got married again?
Yes.
And he divorced the wife?
He didn't divorce her. People said to her, don't take a divorce from him.
Really? So she would be the first wife and then the other one would be
the second? She was living on her own. She was living independently.
Okay, right. So that's what happened.
And that's what happened.
Okay.
You see, that's the trouble.
So do you believe in love at first sight?
No.
Okay, that's straight. Okay, do you believe in all's fair in love and war?
That too I don't believe in. I don't think
one has to have ethics.
Yeah, you have to be honest, you have to be fair, as you say.
Right. Okay. So basically, what were your feelings like? You've had a life of almost 61, 62 years of married life.
Yes.
How would you look back on it as?
It was all right.
It was all right.
Ah.
And did you have an issue like being married in a relationship where both are following different faiths. You converted quite late.
I did.
Yes. So I only found a harmonious environment in our home.
She didn't want the religion as you take it, I feel.
Yes.
It's the same everywhere.
Yes.
It is not different. If you read Quran, you read Bible, you will find that they're the same. Slightly different.
Yes.
And the only thing that is different in this
yes.
is, what would you say?
The religion. What is the difference? The first is, of course, the last prophet element.
But that's
the only difference.
That's the only difference.
Right? And the 10 commandments are the same for all people.
Everything is the same, bilkul.
And I think the greatest thing about you as a daughter, I believe, and later on being a mother, I realized that you, how did you feel about bringing your daughter up in a different faith from yours?
She didn't want where the full country is of that faith.
Yes.
You can't try to go your own way.
Right.
It's absurd. Because that's when the trouble starts. You see?
Right. When you try to be different.
And in religion, you can't fool around with it.
Especially when you agree with it, basically. The commandments are the same. And I remember you were very particular about finding the best Maulvi in the unit or, whoever, wherever we stayed. You found the best person who would come and teach me the Quran. And you used to make sure. And I remember while he was teaching, you would keep popping in and just checking if everything is going properly. And
actually, there was that teacher of yours.
Yes.
Lodi.
Yeah.
He was a wonderful
man. Mostly my master Sahab. He used to teach me. Lodi Sahab. He was a tutor also.
Yes.
And he used to teach me math, Urdu and Quran. So that was a wonderful thing that you had made sure about. And my mother always stayed with me throughout. So basically now we come to 2020.
Yes.
And the COVID years, right? COVID year. What do you think about that? How has the COVID treated you? What do you feel about it?
COVID hasn't treated me in any way. Because my daughter thinks I have it, so everybody else doesn't, so no one manages.
So, Alhamdulillah, we have all been spared the COVID.
So far, so good, yes.
Yeah, we've been very lucky. And it's been a wonderful session. And we are so happy that we have managed to come to the end of this year and without any COVID. But we have seen it, a lot of people are getting affected by it, and we hope and pray that people will recover and have a complete recovery. So basically, here is my mother at 86. She just celebrated her 86th birthday on 7th of November. She is a Scorpio. And so...
A bad one.
Yes?
Scorpions are bad people.
Mad people? I think they make the best mothers.
I don't know about that,
yes,
but anyway.
I know about that. And my mother was always very protective in a sense, but she also didn't spoil me. I wanted to specially talk to Mummy about an only child. How would you say bringing up an only child, and you were yourself an only child?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. So you knew exactly how to bring me up. You didn't put me in boarding school because you felt that wasn't very nice to keep your child far away from the family. But Mommy made sure that I wasn't a spoiled child, and I used to get smacked.
Very much so.
Well and proper.
Yes.
But justly so, right? So with this, we will come to the end of our interview. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So Mummy, thank you so much for giving us so much of your time today.
You're welcome. For a change.
And with this, we come to the end of our interview of my mother. I hope I have managed to, we have managed to find enough answers of your questions from my mother. It's her wisdom and her contentment, and we have learned about being satisfied with one's life, how to be, just at peace.
My mother used to say,
yes,
okay, happiness is all contentment.
Right. Yes.
If you're contented, you're fine.
The secret of happiness is in contentment. That is something that my mother always repeated all her life. And I hope that we can repeat it all our lives too, because then we find such pleasantness and such beauty in our lives. Thank you so much.
Thank you.